She got style, grace. She got attitude. Feel it much in her touch. Show my gratitude. She got style, grace. She got attitude.
What happened? What in the world was that?
I don't know. Did it just turn off on us? Hi, ladies. How are you?
I'm so mad at StreamYard. StreamYard is a trip.
Hey, that's okay.
Say less.
My Shimon Hotel, and welcome.
Look, praise the Lord, saints.
Praise the Lord, saints.
Come on in the room.
Come on.
In the room.
In the room.
Come on. You better sing it. Listen here.
Come on in. Bring your friend.
Yes, come on.
Lottie, Dottie, and everybody. Sakina's on live.
And we got a smoking conversation.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Conversation rules the nation. And we're going to talk about a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And you can get with it.
Or you can get with that.
Or you can get with that. Welcome. Welcome one, welcome all. Just welcome in the room, y'all.
You down with Sakina-Ra?
Excuse me?
I said, you down with Sakina-Ra?
Listen.
Come on in.
This is right now we under some new mints. Some peppermints, some governments, right? We under establishments. We under some new mints. And some of it sound like some old mints. Right? Some mentalities. Right? Behaviors. Preamblements. I like today.
I was gonna say assignments.
Come on. Detriments. Right. Civilments. Right. Assuredments. Insurancements. This was where how far back do it go? How far back do it need to go? This ain't that. That is this. What lies? What truths? What promises? A lot of things are going to get a tapestry. According to. So, and it's according to a construction of a constitution. So I don't, this preamble, again, we kind of tapped into it when we said that we were speaking on to the republics to which we stand, right? One nation under God. And at one point we were the republics. And the Republicans and the Democrats were one party. And in 1776. And then in 18, whatever point where it got switched around, amended, this is where the thereof and whatnot was for the children of slaves. And so it gets into something different. And also Democrats and Republican parties separated also. So it gets a fine line and to Supreme and the different courts. So you have 3 different courts. You have Supreme Court, and then you have the 2 other courts under it. And then we have to fall in that, but this is not what I want to talk about.
What we talking about?
I'm talking about
what's the topic today, Sakina?
Wait a minute, hold on, because I'm high. You know that. I was talking about one thing. I forgot what I was talking about. Get back to what I was talking about, Rasha.
Rasha, what was she talking about?
Talk about what was I talking about when I got here?
The establishment and how the court systems are controlling things. So we got the Supreme Court,
the judicial court, and
judicial and legislative.
Supreme and the judicial and the legislative, right? But what was the thing that led me there?
Well, we started off with talking about how we're under a new regime and all of these mints, and I was thinking about Parliament too, but
right,
where we're going and how the establishment affects us. I think that's what we were on the track on that particular.
Okay, well, either way, so I want to regardless to that, I wanted to
yeah, hold on, Jim. Now let her cook.
Right, because I wanted to leave.
I know. Let me go turn off my heat. It's hot.
Okay, and I wanted to leave from that because it was going into the Constitution.
Yes.
Right. But then moreover that it was swaying into California. Right. And a plan of a rebuilding, of a renewal of California. Right. And so this is where I'm trying to go. Right. Because there was a plan. Let me start with that, y'all.
Yeah, because there's a plan in place to change these cities into smart cities. So they can.
Right. And so that plan had that plan was already in the making. Okay, so let's start with that.
And so they can keep tabs on us. So you got your smartphone listening to you, you got your TV watching you, you got your cars tracking where you go, phones tracking where you go, tracking applications tracking where you're looking up information online. It's just crazy.
What I missed? What happened?
Nothing.
What we doing?
She's pulling up her PowerPoint.
Oh, okay.
And then what about these deposits that they said that they were located in LA? Lithium deposits. List stock of lithium batteries.
I don't know if that's true. You let him tell it. He's found everything. Diamonds, rubies. United States has gold, silver, China, porcelain. I mean, just you name it. He been to told you we
Well,
have
China's
everything
been
we
coming
don't
over
have.
here.
Is the reason why we have imports and exports for the longest time. If we had all of these things that he's claiming that we have, there would be no reason in the very first place to even have partnerships with other people for their mineral deposits for the things that we need. So I
Well, it's about
understand
control.
and understand this when he said that we're going to sit here and start using our own oil for fuel.
We got
He
it.
went straight to Australia. He went straight to the allies that United States has, and not United States, because we are limited on what it is that we have to sustain. So what his plan and what he's talking about is it going to be sustainable for the next 4 years, 8 years, 16 years, 200 years? Because Lord forbid he makes all of these changes and we don't have enough to sustain, and we have to go back in 4 years to the way we originally did business.
Well, I think that a lot of times
he's talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that a lot of times what we need to realize is
see the screen.
things are necessarily made logical.
Yes.
The decisions aren't logical. So what we need to do is follow the money. So sometimes things are done illogically that benefits a specific people, person, families that have maybe a lock on things in certain places or products that control what happens. So, and I see what you're saying, that's not logical. If we didn't have it, why are we going to Australia? Who's directing it and who's behind it? So if we follow the money, then we can see where things are coming from.
No, but what I'm saying is that he's saying what we have versus what we know we don't have. You understand what I'm saying? So
exactly.
for instance, he keeps saying, we have the largest oil deposits in the world. No, we don't. We don't even have a climate that's conducive to making oil like that. One of the things that you're going to need is a chemical composite to create oil on the all the time basis. They tried that in Texas. You want to know what Texas looks like now? They're killing the soil in Texas because there's just simply not enough. So
and then what about
when he says you take the Middle East, where we get most of our oil from to make our fuel, up underneath that ground where there's nothing, there's barely, you can't even create a society, but yet it has one of the largest oil deposits up under it, and those conditions create that oil all of the time. They're sitting on a oil mine for a reason. We're not doing that here. We have climates, we have everything that stops the building of a certain material because it's just not conducive. We may it makes that whole thing go dry. So anytime he's talking about what we are and what we have, the largest, we're the best, we're all this wonderfulness, it just negates the reason why for all of this time we have been doing business with others so we can get the things that we need that we cannot grow naturally here. And he did not say, when he said we have the largest oil deposit in the world, and then went straight to Australia. Which one is it?
I think they've been lying to us all along.
Is it them?
I think that all of our resources we have access to in different countries. There are different things that we have. So I tend to think that there are deposits here, gold, diamonds, and oil that possibly is there's a possibility that we have access to that are not being utilized depending on the ruling classes.
Do you know how diamonds are made? A particular pressure. It's the whole reason why we have different fruits, vegetables, and things that grow here but not there. Everything that grows is a staple, but it has to have the right condition. If it does not have the right condition, there is no such thing. Now, you may have some minerals that look like it, but that may not be what we absolutely need. So we don't understand our own climate and where we live at and what it can actually grow beneath the soil and on top of the soil. Then we're in trouble. We're going to believe everything that he says out of his mouth. And then we're going to just start regurgitating things that are not true. Everything that grows has to have the right climate and condition.
Indeed.
Right now, United States is in a climate, just like with everybody else. The climate has changed a lot via it man-made or via it universe-made. We don't know, but a lot has changed. Yeah, so I highly doubt a lot of these things are true because we just don't. Our conditions just will not provide what we need, and it's a real serious. He's only going to be in office 4 years. I personally think he's grooming his daughter, Ivanka, to sit here and take his place after the 4 years so he can extend that to eight years of control. Now, what he's talking about, is it going to last that long, or will he be the one to deplete the United States of the resources and minerals that we need to sustain long term? I happen to be inclined.
Okay, now
he is going to.
Now with
he is I feel like he is going to deplete what we have here, looking for things that are just not true and illogical.
Okay, with both of y'all perspectives, this is where I'm at right now, based on everything that I said earlier, because I appreciate it. So with that, I want Gemini, I want you to blow this screen up right here and let me rock.
Okay, I don't know. You have to do it. I don't think I can do it.
Okay,
on your end, because it's
maybe hit
you're the one
Control Plus.
presenting it. Yeah,
hit
what? Control Plus. Will that blow up? Because you're at 70%. Or see at the top, you see where you see the plus? It says 70%. So hit that plus sign at the top of the picture. There you go.
Okay, I don't want it to. Is that big enough for y'all?
Well,
maybe if you double click on it to make it the full screen.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see what I can do. Let's see if it'll allow. Okay, there, Sakina. That's about. I think that's about as big as I can get it.
Okay.
Okay, so, back in I forget when I pulled this up, but it was a couple of years ago. We were on USM, and this was a better environment for the future. And this was these 3 companies or 4 companies that were sponsoring this. And this was about for the original release in 2010. This is when it began, subject for the California Coastal Commission in August for 2014. Do you remember this, Gemini? All right. And this was for the blueprint for the NCC program for the balanced set of transportation and environmental coastal access to improve the quality of life for the residents and a stronger local regional economic for the future enhancement for the coastal environment. So all this was for the transportation and environment enhancement to be set for to begin in 2016. And for this was for California and the San Francisco area, right? And so this was for the geographical location for this Pacific Ocean and this area, right? The coastal access. So at this point, you was able to download this information and this program, and you can see the area and the location with the parks, the transportation system, and the people, not just cars, right? So you saw, this was a wall that was built, y'all see most. So this was a new transportation system. There was going to be a line there. You saw the new freeways and highways, right? It was improving the rail and transportation system for more than just cars, right? about the Los which is the Los Angeles / Trans Diego San Luis Obispo.
Luis Obispo.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. This was a rail corridor and the second busiest inner city rail corridor in the nation. It was going to play a critical role in movement of people and goods in Southern California and beyond during the next 20 years. Sandbag plans to construct approximately $1 billion in importments in San Diego segments, including a primary effort to double track comforts from Orange County to downtown San Diego. And then it goes on and on. Then it has to ensure preservation in natural environments, and an important part of the NCC program. As a result, the Sandbag and Caltrans have acquired more than 250 acres of sensitive coastal habitats, restorations, and or preservations. The contractors, the constructions of longer and rail highways, bridges over lagoons, and improve the flow and overrail of lagoon health. Bicycle and pedestrian connectivity along I-5 and coastal rail corridors will improve help completed gaps in existing trail networks. Right? And that's the end of that. So I further looked up this information, right? And this website was closed. Right?
Yeah, because now they got to go back and make changes.
No, that's not exactly what happened. Right? So later on, right after the Trump election, hold on. Let me go back. Can y'all still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, let me go back. So, right after the Trump election, I was actually talking to Gemini, and I couldn't believe my eyes because here we go. Let me know when y'all see my screen.
I see it. Trump takes stage, signs executive order, Capitol One Arena.
Okay. Y'all hear it?
Yes.
You can hear it.
Did y'all see the first part?
Yes.
It went by so quick. Let me show you one more time. All right. Let's roll. No, please don't worry, it's coming right back. The kids, you didn't take it after you got the show. Do y'all see that?
Yep.
Do y'all see that?
You know, that remind me of Nigeria.
The
way that bridge looks. Wow.
Do you see it? This is all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So when let me come back over here for a minute. Hold on one more second. I just want to end this with
I love Jasmine Crockett. Oh my gosh. I'm going to see if she can come on the show. I'm going to reach out to Jasmine.
Girl.
Jasmine Crockett ass. Lord have mercy.
Child, the t-shirts.
A t-shirt and a coffee mug. I need all that shit. She's there.
In custody for, say, a crime. They also had an ICE hold. Okay. And that was for those that had so much, Mr. maybe Chair. Been deported. I am going to try to get through a lot quickly. As one of the few people sitting on the dais who actually practice criminal law in the state of Texas, as well as licensed in Arkansas and practice there, as well as federal courts, one of the things that you said earlier, Mr. Beer, really stuck with me, is that there are already laws on the books as it relates to those violent criminals. And I know this because even though I hail from the great city of Dallas, I can tell you that when
I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. I am going to try to get through a lot quickly. As one of the few people sitting on the dais who actually practice criminal law in the state of Texas, as well as licensed in Arkansas and practice there, as well as federal courts, one of the things that you said earlier, Mr. Beer, really stuck with me, is that there are already laws on the books as it relates to those violent criminals. And I know this because even though I hail from the great city of Dallas, I can tell you that when someone would come in and they were being held in custody for, say, a crime, they also had an ICE hold, okay? And that was for those that had maybe been deported before and had re-entered illegally and things like that. And so no matter what type of city you're in, I do want to be clear, federal law already, no matter if it's under the Biden administration or if it's under a Republican administration, we all agree that we want to be safe. And I think that's the first premise that we're losing, because there isn't something that is tatted on my head that says that I'm a Democrat and therefore you illegal bad person, don't come for me, go for the ones that have the R's on their forehead. Now let me be clear about this as well, because we've talked about crime and we've talked about fentanyl specifically, and this is also something that I have dealt with, unlike some of my other colleagues. And listen, I'm going to be honest, because I actually want to fix problems, and I actually have a really good senator in Texas, and I'm sure y'all can guess which one is the good one. But let me tell you, if we care about fentanyl, I have multiple bills for that. I started on the state level before everybody started talking about it. And I have federal bills that my senior senator has signed on to. So I welcome my colleagues because I actually want to make sure that my communities are safe. But as we start to talk about crime and statistics, Mr. Beer, I want to play a little game with you. It's called rhetoric versus reality. And so I want to ask you my first question. Is this rhetoric or reality? Immigrants commit more crimes than U.S. citizens.
On a per capita basis?
Rhetoric or reality?
Oh, it is rhetoric.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask for unanimous consent to enter into the record this article, which states that undocumented immigrant offending rate lower than U.S.-born citizen rate, and this is from nij.ojp.gov.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. The next one, immigrants are just living off the federal government and contribute nothing.
That would be rhetoric.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chair, I would ask unanimous consent to enter study that says undocumented immigrants pay almost $100 billion in taxes. This is from the Alabama Reflector.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. My final rhetoric or reality question is immigrants only enter at the southern border.
Rhetoric.
Okay, right, because they enter all kinds of ways. I just wanted to make sure that I put that out there. In fact, I have a few more questions because I still got a little bit of time, which I usually run out of time. We have talked again about crime, and there's been this overemphasis on it. And honestly, I can tell you that I don't want anyone to be killed, whether it's here or anywhere else. There is nothing about me as the child of a preacher that makes me say that I want people to die, okay? So I feel as if my colleagues from across the aisle have decided that they are going to make immigrants the boogeyman. It's insanity to me, but they also are showing compassion for victims, which they should, but they have no compassion for people that are contributing to making us great in this country. So interestingly enough, I'm curious to know, Mr. Beer, if you know if immigrants contributed to these particular crimes. There was a mass shooting in Buffalo, New York that killed a number of African Americans as they were trying to shop for groceries. Was the defendant an immigrant in that case? Do you know?
No, he was a U.S. born citizen.
Thank you so much. Charleston, South Carolina, there were Black churchgoers trying to praise the Lord. They were killed. Was that an immigrant that perpetrated that or not?
No, that was a U.S. born citizen.
Thank you so much. Now, coming home to Texas, there was an El Paso shooting. Do you know if that was an immigrant or not?
No, they were targeting immigrants in that case.
In fact, each of these cases, it was white supremacists. And so the last unanimous consent that I'd asked for is this article that states that white supremacists behind over 80% of extremism related U.S. murders in 2022.
Without objection.
Thank you so much.
All right.
So I just like to end this with if anybody did watch the congressional speech by the president, I did want to kind of add that I didn't complete out this presentation, but I did want to kind of include that. Let me come back to y'all right quick. Let me let me say this right quick. I want to first I want to say that I appreciate shows like Corporate Conversation because it came in the right place at the right time. I think people needed to really start paying attention to these kind of behaviors and conducts, because if any kind of thing is codes, the codes were codes of conduct, and those codes of conduct are being held responsible. How far back are things being held accountable? No. And it came like a thief in the night. And so they were trying to show y'all or tell y'all ain't nothing new under the sun. So these behaviors, you're not being accounted for, right? And accountability does come in numbers or quantum. Call it what you want to, but now it's calling it what it is. You are responsible for your actions. Here it is. So fables and fictitious and fantasies and all of that, yeah. You can make your dreams come true.
That it's not the immigrants. Y'all were fighting me. No. Y'all were fighting me tooth and nail when I was saying that it's not the immigrants. It is U.S. born citizens mainly responsible for mainly everything. And
Those,
I was
yeah,
getting
that's
so
for,
much
that's for
pushback
those
saying,
crimes.
no,
But
no,
been doing
no.
crimes
It was
too.
the criminals. I mean, it was the immigrants. The immigrants were doing it. It's the immigrants. It's the immigrants.
Some of them.
What happened? What happened with all of that? Now, she just said it without a doubt. Reality or rhetoric. It was all rhetoric, just like it's always have been. It's like, but again, I just really feel like when we don't want to take accountability for ourselves, we look to the next group of people to make responsible for our woes. That's not the way that this goes. You get a chance to wake up.
Do it.
No.
You are
responsible for your own life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Right. There's no one else responsible for your existence except you. And you have to be the one to sit here and decide whether or not you're going to sit here and feed into crazy nonsensical things, or are you going to stand on knowing the reality of the situation? Yeah, people don't have to start taking personal responsibility. That's what we lack. We look for everybody to blame. We can't blame the government because Republicans are not going to let you blame them, because Republicans stand on less government and for you to govern your own existence. Mm-hmm. Right? That's the whole Republican base party theory. That's their genre.
Right. But
be responsible for your own ass.
Same snake. Two heads of the same snake. But we're not talking
about two heads of the same snake, though. We're talking about one ideology is stand up, take control and responsibility for your own life. Mm-hmm. And then the other one is, hey, government is going to help you govern your life. That's not the same snake at all. People are not, just like people had a heart attack about coming to work because of telework. No, good not aware that before COVID, that's what we were all doing.
That's right.
So there's nothing new about them saying, come home, come back to work full time. This is the same way. Everyone's looking for the Republicans to do what the Democrats did, and they are not, because they don't even believe in it in the first place. They believe in, like he said, this is a merit-based society. No more affirmative action.
Both parties.
No more help. Right? Mm-hmm. So again, it boils down to, do you really understand what you have to take responsibility for and of? Do we understand that? Because
do we understand?
We have to really, seriously, there's going to be no government to sit here and govern for the next 4 years. They don't believe, they're not coming to the rescue. They're not going to fund the police to sit and come to your doors anymore. They're not going to fund
insurance companies stick to their contract either.
But they're going to do that with every single solitary thing. They're going to do that with every single solitary thing, because they've said no more of government in your lives. Now we have a merit-based system. Merit means you being judged or qualified by your own skill set and ability.
Level up. That's what they're selling you.
And they're, I don't know. I don't get it, because again, we love to sit here and blame immigrants for every single thing that we do, but unfortunately, it's just not that type of party. And this is going to sit here and show and prove. And this is why we have these types of conversations, so that people really begin to understand that you are going to have to be responsible for your own ass. It's a sink or swim moment we're in.
It is. It really is. Because I'm thinking that sometimes they blame the slaves. They blame these people. They blame the Indians.
That part.
So they blame immigrants coming from other areas. Immigrants blaming immigrants. Okay. Yeah.
Now this is the show and prove moment. No more immigrants. He's deporting them. All the ones he can deport. So then what's going to be the excuse? What's going to be the excuse then?
Back in the day, they deported the Haitians. So it's like, no, the Haitians no, y'all don't remember. They deported this group of Haitians back when Bill Clinton was trying to run for the presidency. So it's just a lot of stuff that we forget, but we need to watch what we're looking at, because when we're bouncing back and forth over the rhetoric, all rhetoric, What bills are they making to constrain, confine, debase the economy? What are they doing? What are they having us looking on the other way when they're changing something over here? So we need to be very vigilant, mindful, and resourceful, and start leveling up our skills like we've been talking about on corporate conversations. We need to do for self.
Got to do for self.
For you. Do for self.
And we got to start putting down all these things that don't make sense that we just heard throughout the years about people, things that are not true, things that just boggles and blow the mind. And yeah, we have, and I agree with, we need to be more self-sufficient as the people, because, for me, blackness is a real thing because I'm Black and I wake up every day still Black, and that's not going to change. So then my mind is not going to change about where we are as a people, and me trying to, affect changes for our own people. But in the same breath, we have to get out of that and start working together with other people, because our survival is on the forefront of our existence. We need that. We need to sit here and know how to work together properly with other people. We didn't say go off and marry them and do all this crazy. We said work together with other people properly, and including your own people.
Yes. And then what happens is if you move in silence and people start seeing what you're doing, and they see the creativity, they see the passion, they see the drive, they see the effects of what you're doing, they're going to naturally want to join in. So we need to start move. We don't need to tell I'm about to announce everything we doing. No, move in silence and do what you're going to do. Be truthful to yourself first. Then all these people, your gifts is going to make room for you in front of kings. They're going to want to know how you did it. They're going to want to ask, they're going to start asking, people will start asking you questions, how you doing this? And you got to be mindful that you kind of got to keep stuff under wraps until you have set everything in place that you want to set in place for yourself before you give away all the goods.
Yeah, moving in silence is a good reminder. Move in silence. That's something that we do not do. We announce everything before we bust moves. And I've learned in my personal life to stop doing that and just make moves. No more announcing.
Yes, Sakina.
Also, I wanted to open the doors, because with all of that being said, the one thing that was always pushed forward, but everybody back swept. And it's the one time it's the calling was the Black City Plan.
Because we had it together. So and I'm looking at places in California that remind me of it.
Well, she's talking about Rasta in our collective. We have a person.
Oh, in your collective.
He introduced to us the Black City Plan. I'm not exactly sold on that too. It needs a revision because, again, this is 2025, so it needs to include some other things like self-sufficiency, and how do we exactly start implementing that for all. It just needs some revision, and then maybe it can be a good thing, something for us at least to start with.
Because I'm more inclined different areas in my area, and I say, okay, this looks like back then, and I'm thinking about it. But like you said, if we're thinking about doing a self-supporting safe space for people of like minds and kinds to dwell together in harmony and in unity, we need to be a little more supportive, because Black Twitter and a lot of things happen that we react to, and sometimes people get on the bandwagon of negativity, and negativity kind of drives things away, as positivity kind of pulls things together. So if we're a little bit more supportive, and we don't have to be announcing who we're supporting, but word of mouth can spread. This is what's happening. Grassroots. It needs to happen that way, because the revolution doesn't take place publicly; it takes place privately. And once it happens, you just
will not be televised.
Right. It
It
won't be
will not be televised. And
or
then we can't worry
publicized.
about who's not jumping on the bandwagon and who's over here doing this, and then start talking about, Black people support weaves and Black people support rap and Black people support. It doesn't matter about all of those people who like what they like. We're talking about starting something that people can join in a little later once they begin to see what's up, because not all young people are stupid. I'm inclined to believe that the youth become the future for a reason, and you have to sometimes go through all of that in order to get out to the other side. And so, I'm inclined to let young people be young people until they absolutely can understand more about what's going on. Then when we have something already created and built, they can join in, and it won't be that, that side eye or that backlash of, well, you didn't, when you were out there looking at twerking. We don't care about twerking. Twerking is a distraction. We don't care about what people are looking at. All we care about is, do we have something in place where people can join in even at a later date if they want to?
Yes.
If they want to.
People find out about different things all the time.
All the time.
My coworker said, first we work, then we twerk. And I be cracking myself, but
if there's nothing ain't buying a Birkin, then you need to be worrying about working.
And they said that our generation was messed up, and the generation before that, we talked about generation. It's time to stop talking and start doing, and then once we're doing, then something gets sidetracked. Moles are put in place to push everything apart. And, you see how this happens with different
people get very judgmental,
and they're trying to outdo each other, and that's not the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm glad,
Well,
Jasmine had to clear that up.
Jasmine, we're not talking. I'm sorry. I said we have the ability to do it, but we're not talking about billions. We're talking about trillions. So we're worried about pennies and dollars and thousandaires when it's trillionaires in the making. And so we need to level up and start thinking much more higher than what we're thinking. And then sometimes we work now with people we cannot stand. Let's just be honest and say that. So if we can work with people we can't stand, how come we can't, even if we funk it in the collective, let's just work together and get what we need to get if we need to get it. If you got this resource and I got this resource and it complements each other, we might not necessarily get along, but let's at least work together.
Yeah. Everybody got that, in the back of their mind. My way works better. My way works better than your way. We're talking about, well, bring your way to the collective.
That's right.
And do less talking and more acting. Then we'll talk about the way. But right now, there is no way, because the way is to prove prideful things that don't even matter to us as a whole.
And, sometimes you want to bring your family along. Sometimes that doesn't work out, but don't be discouraged. I've had horror stories. I lost a property, renting a family. A man lost a business. Cousin took the money, and, parents paid cousins to do contract work. Cousin took the money. So, family can work out, but we need to look at the integrity of each individual and weigh that, because even a child is known by their ways. We just need to be a little bit more, just check, trust, but verify, and then work together. But a lot of things that we see going on are distractions, and we need to level up. Stop being distracted by the distractions.
Yes, and
people are so vehemently about who is in politics. Oh, sorry, Casina, go ahead.
No, you're absolutely right, because listen, it's a hell of a decision.
And then the people over there paying strangers rent. Y'all are so stupid. You look stupid. How about that? But we just have to.
I got one more clip.
Oh, okay.
Well, I got one more I got one more clip I want to play.
Okay.
After I saw the congressional, no, it was after I saw everything, because he said somebody asked him and when he was signing all those what you call them?
You know what? I say follow the money, Sakina. We need to follow the money. And everybody's up in arms over who the faces that they see, be it Democrat or Republican. If they are in the disagreement, okay, fine. I'm more worried about the people I don't see. The people that are behind the scenes actually.
It's always what they don't say. It's always what they don't say, and that's why this Constitution plays a big role in it.
Yes.
Because that's why I got messed up at, because I hit this damn thing. We were the immigrants at that time. Either way it went. You see what I'm saying? And so they playing it on us and against us at the same time. So the only immigrants that was involved in the Constitution was us. Understand that point.
It
didn't involve nobody. Huh?
They call us chattel.
Right. No, but at the same time, it was about humanity. We were no longer all these other things. We became the birthright citizens. It only involved us and our children. So Plurgy versus Ferguson and all this other, that was us. It was about us, from being slaves to considering humans, citizenship, us. So now we're talking about outside of us or others. So I understand it. So it's not about it's about illegal. It's not about legal citizenship. It's about illegal citizenship. So this is where the ball got dropped. So somebody's illegal parent, mother and father, illegally had a baby, and the baby was given a birthright.
They call them anchor babies.
And so, right, and that's where the problem comes in at. And so that's where
this is world is created, and it's created. Who sold who what? Who thinks they own what? I believe we have the right to move about the country freely, that we should have. You shouldn't have to have a passport. You shouldn't have to have papers or documents to allow you to go into certain places.
No, we can't go somewhere. We can't do that.
I know.
We can't do that.
I know.
You see what I'm saying? And so
yes.
This is where the hardship and the problem. So this is where fair ain't always right and right ain't always fair, because now I think the problem is overpopulation.
And that's a lot too.
And so
there's enough room for everybody in this world.
This is where it gets hard. Yeah.
There's enough room for everybody in this world, and the cities are they say that they're overpopulated, but there's a lot of vacant apartments, buildings that people cannot afford that can be used for public housing. We have the room, we have the capability to house everybody in this land, but we are not doing it. So
right, they haven't even took care of the homeless, and so it's like
you could get on a plane and you see all this land uninhabited. It's so much land. But the question is, what do you do with the people that you no longer need? What do you do with the people you no longer need? You leave them out there to dry.
Right. It's like, so it's everything hangs on the Constitution. It's like, because that's what America was established on. And every time the Constitution changed, the Bible changed. And so what do we say? You see what I'm saying? So that's where here you go. So I don't know at this point. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I see both sides, and it hurt either way. And it, you know, society was based off of classification of your money status and your education status, and you can't get around that either. You see what I'm saying? Because money paid for education,
right?
And that's what the society was based off of. So you can't get around that either. I don't know where you're gonna go from here. It just hurt.
We're gonna go up.
You know?
That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I understand this part, but again, you know, just to watch people, it still just hurt.
Of course.
Either way, you know. It's like the 144, everybody can't go. You get a black rock. I get a rock. You know, but back to the president's speech, you know, this part was like somebody said, somebody said, all right, they called him bold and whatnot. I saved it all, but he said, do you find yourself to be a dictator? And he said no. He believes in the synchronism of he believes in the power of synchronism, right? Because you know that's
saying a lot, though. If he, you know what synchronicity is, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so but that's powerful if he said that. So I remember I heard them ask him was he a dictator, but I didn't recall his answer. So if he said he believes in synchronism, then he believes in all things coming together, signs and things that are directing him to make these actions. So he is being led then by something he feels like is higher than man.
Yeah. And so with that, I decided to play this right here. And let me know when y'all see my screen. Not this one. Hold on.
Looks like it's loading. Now I see it.
So you literally are perpetuating parts of the issues that we have in our community by supporting R. Kelly in any of his music. I don't understand this. This is why I can't take y'all serious. So we're not on this show to talk about nothing for real. We own this show to clown and sit here and support clowns. So then are we supporting 47? Because if we supporting R. Kelly, we're supporting 47 too. What we doing? What we talking about? I don't understand. But now I got Gemini ready to sit here and fly off the handle online because somebody decided to be a bad woman versus a bad man. I don't understand.
This man said he was a bad man.
What are we talking about?
He said
we gotta watch
that's what he meant.
That's what we saying.
No, we're not saying that when we throw on R. Kelly to say that. Because there are other songs that could have said that same thing besides R. Kelly.
I said what he said.
I didn't pick it.
I said what he said.
I don't recall picking it.
You know every word. So you said what you said.
He said his mind telling him no.
I can't help. Listen, I can't help what that man did. I can't help what that man
you
did.
Can't help.
No,
by
you
not
can't help.
I can't help what that man
that
did.
hurt and harm the community. This is what we talking about.
I can't help what he did.
Y'all don't stand for nothing, and that is playing him false for everything. So no,
Chef hurted the community, or that song hurted community.
Yes.
Oh. Listen, I
that
can't.
Was terrible.
I can't rock with that. I can't. Some of R. Kelly shit I don't rock with.
You press play. You played it. You press the button. That means you did have control over us listening to R. Kelly or not.
If we gonna go that road, if we go that road, we ain't gonna support no damn body.
If we go, yes, we are. Yes, we are. We can support people who are not on record as what they are. He's on record. He's in jail for doing the things he did. So then, therefore, we do know better when a person has been convicted and confirmed of doing the activities.
They standard too many people at this point for that. We can't.
Listen, I'm not gonna let you tell me why we should listen to R. Kelly music and why we should support R. Kelly.
I didn't say we should listen to anything.
We shouldn't support nobody if we ain't gonna support R. Kelly. We shouldn't support nobody. No, we should not support R. Kelly individually as an individual thing that he did.
I didn't say support R. Kelly.
You did. You said in that case that we might as well support anybody. We can't believe nobody. Yes, you did. You did.
I didn't. I said if that's the case, I said if that's the case, we might as well. And we do.
No.
We still got people out here supporting.
This is throw a rock and hide your hand. This is stuff that people do when they claim they supporting one thing, but they show you what they are really supporting by supporting.
No. Somebody cut me up on the whole channel for not supporting somebody that and I'm Kemet, and because I didn't support somebody that I did not
sit here and say all this when she played R. Kelly. Then she gonna sit here and defend it.
I got cut up for that. So no, that's not the truth.
You did.
I'm not defending nothing. I said
you don't even play a snippet of it. You went got a leather outfit and all of that. Like the background dancers in the whole video.
Just to be a part of a whole movie.
Oh my God!
And it supported a whole movie. And I said when I saw it, just listen. Go back to the beginning of what I said and see what it said.
How you gonna sit
All
here
I can say is when I saw it
and make anything that you said when you just played his whole video? How you gonna make anything that you said stick when you just played this man's entire video?
Because it supported what I said.
No, it didn't. It supported crazy, and he's crazy. And this is crazy, and all the rest of it is crazy.
No, it just supported what I said.
It didn't support nothing. It showed you, rather, it showed us what you support. You could have played 1,000 other songs by anybody else who supported what you said. Was R. Kelly the only person that you could have chose from artists? No, it wasn't.
What I chose.
Thank you.
Listen, anybody that know the song know the song. It doesn't matter if R. Kelly went down for it. He went down for it. That's here or there.
It does matter. Then you imposed him on me, and you imposed him on other people who do not support R. Kelly and anything that he does. Then you imposed it on us. On top of that, you not only did you pick it out to make it support what you said, then you imposed him on the rest of us. Now, come on. I thought we were sitting here making sense today, and then you're going to play R. Kelly.
That was making sense.
It didn't make no sense at all. At all.
I don't know if you take that personal like that. That didn't make sense to me. I don't understand that.
What do you mean?
Take that personal?
Why don't I just sit here
that was not a sexual nothing. That was just
the president said
he was a bad man, and he felt like he was a bad man.
R. Kelly is a bad man,
and that's
he's a bad representative of a bad man.
R. Kelly sung that, and off a soundtrack of Shaft, and R. Kelly sung it, and that's what I found hilarious. And so I intertwined those two things. That's what I thought was funny. And so that's why, because in the beginning, he said, I really don't give a damn what you might think about me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
You do not care about what none of us think. That's why you played it. Clearly.
That's what the president said. That's what the president was doing.
Raggedy
Now
video.
it's clear. And that's what he did. And that's what he did.
Sakina,
and that's what he's doing. And that's
And
all I'm
you could
pointing
found
out.
any other person,
And that's
any
what he
other
was
artist.
doing.
It's millions of singers who sing, I'm a bad man, you're a bad man, he's a bad man. It didn't have to be him.
Who?
Didn't have to be R. Kelly. That's who.
Who?
It didn't have to be R.
Well,
Kelly.
I just want to know
You
who,
did
so
not
I
have to
could
play
probably
R.
pick
Kelly.
it
You
out
did
because
not
I
have to
didn't
play
know.
R.
I don't know
Kelly.
anybody else that did that.
Oh
That's who
my
I
God.
chose, but I don't know anybody
You
else.
don't
who
even know all
did
the
that.
other 100,000 artists that's out there too, because you did not
See, but
research,
I
and you did not put it in a
can't
search
please
to figure
everybody
out who
to do
else
what I
sings
want.
I'm a bad man.
But Gemini, if somebody didn't like what you did, what you changed and said you would have did something else to please them, or
I
is
wouldn't
it
dare
to
have a
please
man
you?
like him on any of my things to offend people in the first place.
How would you know? How would you
That
know what somebody
R. Kelly, and we
you
don't know.
wouldn't.
We don't know. We don't know. Or we don't know R. Kelly. Who doesn't know?
Listen here,
We all
I
know.
didn't play a sexual song against R. Kelly or not. A lot of people, regardless to what he had did, we get that. But that song was only to go against what
No, apparently
I
you
said
do not
he
get that. That's why you played that song like it
Well,
wasn't
I'm not.
nothing.
Listen, I'm not in it. I'm not in it for that, so it doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh, it does matter, because now I can't take nothing else being said serious
well.
today, because it matters. Everything matters.
Well,
And you know, especially with me, it's gonna matter. I can't just sit here and let that go. I'm standing on that.
well,
How dare we sit here and play a
that's
man
all-
who's a detriment
that's
to
all
our community
connected.
and then turn around and talk about the community in a positive way? And what he did was so negative, and he reflected on the community in such a negative way. And we still gonna give him accolades as if he did something fantastic and great. No, all you did was sit here and make us look crazy, and he is absolutely nuts. And so he gets no props and he gets no love. What we moving on to? What other conversation we moving on to? What was the next topic you had?
It was gonna be a slide.
Okay.
Wasn't it?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Don't get mad. You played it. You the one played it. You played it and didn't have the nerve. You don't want to hear the pushback after you played it. Didn't play all 3 minutes of the song.
What I played.
Didn't you play all 3 minutes of this
because
song?
you cannot please everybody. I played all 4 minutes of his shit.
So now we're gonna now we going to the everybody.
I played all 4 minutes. We're gonna go deeper than that. I played 4 minutes because, like I said, the president said
you
he was a bad
man,
and you're not going to
defending and playing R. Kelly, but let that speak for the record. Sakina-Ra is standing on playing and supporting R. Kelly as opposed to standing on the community and us here who it might have offended.
That video was
it's very offensive.
Shaft. It was
it's very offensive.
And the
R.
video
Kelly is very offensive to some black folks. He's very offensive to me.
But it was about Shaft. Understand
it's
that
not about
when
Shaft.
you look up the video, find out that the video goes to Shaft.
I understand that it goes to Shaft, but it doesn't matter what it goes to. It doesn't matter what it goes to. He should not be played whether that video went to Shaft or Craft or Matt
to that video
or Fact. It didn't matter. He is an offensive human being. He's egregious. And I'm not going to sit here and be in support of no egregious type of person like that. He's egregious.
In connection, my point is proven, and I rest my case.
What? Then he's egregious? Yes.
That was
he's egregious. We all agree.
Connections for that topic. Exactly, and that's all the video was pointing out. That's all the sound. That's what the topic across the video
it was jamming like, hey.
things playing out. So if you
You
want to
might as
add
well
the
be a
fact
part
that
of
R.
the
Kelly
background
sung it,
singers.
you might as well say that all those things connected with adding R. Kelly singing it, and that would make a perfect connection for you. So those three things would have came together just like Sesame Street. All those
Oh my
things matter.
gosh. I
All
can't
those
sit
three
here and make
things
no
matter. But
connections
all
with
I
R.
know
Kelly.
is
All the
the
connections I'm
song
making with
was
him
"I'm
is
a bad
small kids in
man,"
jail.
and this is what he said he believes
That's the
in,
connection
and
that I
this
got
is
from
what
him.
it was. So those three things went together, or those two things went together,
That was
and that's
a
all I got.
bad
I
representation, or
wasn't
that was
thinking
a
about.
bad,
I wasn't thinking about
that
R.
was
Well,
Kelly
that's
really
what
bad.
society
and all
is
this other
headed to,
stuff.
because we're in we're actually being ran by the Roman government, which was into that stuff. So that's why they are trying to indoctrinate the children at such an early age for that particular issue. But we need to be really vigilant and start raising our levels here and making sure that you know, we're trying to
Aren't they
be
being
more
caught up in
humane.
that shit anyway?
Yeah. And these people can't do this stuff by
Isn't there a
themselves.
lot of child abduction and stuff going on? And hasn't
Oh
it
my
been
gosh,
since
now
the
you're gonna try to
biblical
make it
age?
make sense. It does not make sense, and
No,
it
I'm not
didn't
trying
even
to make it
fit.
make sense, but all I'm saying is R. Kelly was caught up in all of that. Was he or was he not?
You know,
But at the
abusers abuse,
same time,
victims of abuse abuse others too. Yeah. I mean, but one thing that we just got to start leveling up for ourselves.
Yeah,
he
and we
must have
gotta
thought he
get
must have been a
past
bad man
all of
too.
this crazy. These
Yeah,
nutcases can't
again,
be our
that's not my point.
superheroes and people that we respect
He's
on
not
some level
nobody's
or another.
superhero.
What kind of stuff is that? I don't respect
But
him on no
again, all
level.
I was pointing
He was
out
a grown
was,
man when he made
again,
those decisions.
my
So
whole
what things
point.
happened to him as a child when he became a
I don't
full-grown
give a damn
man
about that either.
in his 30s? This is what
Who
he
did wrong by
decided to
children?
do. He has to stand for that. He has to stand on his
Exactly.
own for that.
And
You can't sit
Shaft
there and
was a
blame his
law
parents and
enforcement.
blame his childhood for the things that he did.
And
There were people
Shaft was a
telling
law
him not to do
enforcement.
those things as well, and he still did not listen. And he went on and he made those decisions as a grown man himself.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody's the bad man, it is him.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even
He
see the
told
other
you he
bad man. All I see is him. He's the bad man. So he was talking about it. He's talking about himself and
Shaft
himself.
was a law enforcement. And
he
Shaft
is bad.
was a
He is
law enforcer.
horrible. That was a horrible.
Shaft was a law enforcer from way back, and he was a bad man. He was a law enforcer. Get that part. And so, but when it came down to when you listen to the inauguration and the way he was acting and carrying on, right? And he said, "No, I'm not a dictator, right? I believe in synchronicity, right?" And so, at this point, signing all these executive orders and carrying on, and people challenging saying you can't do that and this, to me, he felt like I'm a bad man. You can't tell me nothing. And that's all I thought about was that song. So yes, I connected that, and that's what I played. Exactly.
That was the horrible
I
connection.
did want to say,
and you should have played something else.
I do want to play Everybody Wants to Rule the World, but this is on another order because I'm not through with that thing I want to put up together, right? Because that is getting a little deeper. It's getting into the world order and all of these other things that he put in place and canceled out some other things. And I'm not through with that, right? Because I started that with something else, but it's taking another direction because of the order with Australia, right? And it's got some other things that he's connected with because of some things that he disconnected with. So I can't bring that out yet because I'm not finished with it. Mm-hmm. Right, because some of these orders that he signed, but the power of not being able to do it. This is almost how Jimmy Carter signed off on something that he gave away. And I don't know where that went because this Constitution was signed by presidents prior, before, and whatnot. And look here. Right, so it's 2/3 of the Supreme. It's the Supreme Court that can override the president. Mm-hmm. right? And that's the 2/3 of the vote is both the Republicans and the Democrat vote, and the Supreme Court though. So look here, this is where we at. So again, what y'all teach on corporate conversations is very much the truth. Why? Because if your behavior and your mental status and all this shit ain't right, y'all ain't going nowhere. So all of that code of conduct, right, it's almost to that status. If your code of conduct ain't in the right order, the right status, the right place, you ain't getting nowhere. Because they ain't not worried about the rest of that shit. It's about your code of conduct. Believe that. You got to have all that in order, along with your order and how you doing it, the merit base. You see what I'm saying? Your job, longevity, and how long you've been doing this, and how can you move up, and do you have that hit the ground running and all that other stuff? That merit base. That's merit base. You see what I'm saying? That's what they looking at, right? Even if you have moved up from department to department, that's because of merit base. You have that in you. You can move around because you can hit the ground running. And you see what I'm saying? Based on merits, you have that credibility. You have that accountability. You have that authoritative mindset. You see what I'm saying? That's how kids was able to be bumped up in school and graduate early and shit like that. This is what that is. They used to be merit-based back in the time, and they were merit-based, and they was able to get credits. And then after you get a certain amount of credits, then you would get going on like that. That was a back term. So they going back to merit-based. Right. And so they canceled it out. That's why people getting money back from merit-based. Social Security didn't pay into it. And then they started, and then they stopped, and something to that effect. I'm not sure, but
that's like I was saying, we need to follow the money. If we follow the money, then we see where the control portion is coming from, and how Congress is bought and paid for. Their votes are bought and paid for. So,
right, because some states don't pay taxes. Some states don't pay state taxes, but some states do. Right. And that's why they doing something else with the 401c, because we didn't have a 401c3 in our thing, in our company, because our state, our business didn't have a union. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, we was opted out of certain things such as that. So yeah, go ahead, because I'm scrambling.
Okay. So dealing with everything that we're dealing with, we don't know how the economic base is going to shift during this year. We just need to prepare ourselves to have things in operation that we're working on. If we want to learn how to grow food for ourselves, if we want to detox, if we want to start new businesses, we need to just do it in a move in silence and start working on things that we need to work on. You know, stacking those positive habits, building relationships with people, learning how to play in the sandbox. I know a lot of people try to say that your merits will get you in places, but if you don't know how to play in the sandbox, you could have all the merits in the world. It still won't bring you to the table. And a lot of times it's not what you know, it's who you know. Who was able to get
that's the merit based right there. And that's why, and that's what makes that whole argument so absolutely horrible. You would never have to put in these other things in place as an affirmative action or any other thing if it was merit based. As if a scientist, just because he's Black, So now he's not smart and he can't, and he's not credentialed as the others. You know, you had to have affirmative action to make sure that people had a footing. Again, kind of like when I was explaining what the mob, what the actual unions back in the day, what they were for, and the reason why these mob bosses decided to even step into union in the first place, because it was like, oh, okay, you have the Irish over here, you have the Germans over here, you have the Jews over here, and these other citizens, United States citizens were like, listen, because you identify as another group, we don't have any jobs for you. And they said, you know what, to hell with that. Yeah, not only are we going to sit here and start putting the smash down in the communities that we live in, because our people have families that they have to provide for, and you're not going to sit here and leave us out of the bidding or the contract work, because our people know how to lay concrete, they know how to lay pipes, they know how to sit here and build houses. Why aren't they included in early unions, as terrible as they were? But they made sure that their people ate. They made sure that their people had a portion of that contract. Until this day, the union still operates like that. Like, wait a minute, what do you mean you have all these government contracts and all of these workers? And so, no, before we're going to negotiate, before we even do anything, you're going to make sure that our men in this union are included in that contract. You're going to have at least 35% union workers on top of everybody else that you're going to sit here and employ to do this daggone work, to lay this concrete, to lay this wire, to lay these pipes, and do any other type of work. You see what I'm saying? So a merit base, there will be no need for unions, or there would be no need for affirmative action if everything was in a genuine merit-based type of situation. And it's never been that way, and it's not going to start. Even right now, you got the oligarchs running everything. The giants are running rampant. So where's the merit in that?
And that's why we're looking at the difference between bias and racist actions.
No, a merit base is based on seniority. Is because of that, you would have seniority based on how long you've been there, and so that is the reason.
It's a skill base. It's not only seniority; it's a skill base, right? And my point. What I'm saying is, it is, and that's what I'm saying. It's in the definition of merit, a merit-based organization or merit-based government.
Okay, so now we can call it what we want to, but again, that's all it was covering.
What you want to. It's a definition.
Okay, well, it was called merit-based.
Calling it any other thing except merit-based. I don't understand that.
That's the way it's supposed to be, but it's not
right. Merit-based makes no sense.
That's all I'm saying. It was
merit-based makes no sense. We wouldn't need any other programs if merit was all we had to go by on.
Because we were supposed
our merit
to have
is what our skin color. What we talking about?
We were supposed to have a program where the application was, you put in your application and they were going to pick from the best qualified. Okay, well, what does that mean? Who's going to be listed as the best qualified? What are the parameters? So then you're looking at who is going to be in charge of who chooses who the best qualified is going to be. So like my father, he's a graduate of UC Berkeley. He went to apply for a job for the postmaster. He went, and I think a guy probably back in that day probably was a hippie or something like that. And he aced the test. He's an excellent test taker. The person who you would think would want the best qualified, or the person that passed the test, would choose him. But he told my father that, oh, you must have cheated on this test, and proceeds to hire the other guy. So, it happens. And even in, I know stuff in San Francisco where there were a lot of Black business owners who own trucks that delivered or, did shipment. So a person paid a third party to take pictures of those truck owners' trucks and wage complaints that they were doing something improprietary with their trucks. So the complaints were sent to the city. So these are third-party individuals that don't know what's going on. They're just, okay, I'm gonna pay you so many hundreds of dollars to take pictures of this truck and give it to me. Okay, they took pictures, but they didn't know that this particular person was going to go into contract, or there was contracts coming out for, I believe, the airport. And because of these complaints, these owners could not bid for the contract, and the other person gets the contract, because it's just dastardly stuff that happens. So they were shut out because they were under investigation. So it's stuff like that happens that are by design. It's not who we see, it's what's behind it. And so he's putting all this stuff out. But like I tell people, the presidency is in on the roller coaster. If it's going up, he going up with it. If the roller coaster is going down, he going down with it. So we just gotta be vigilant and work for ourselves to be a little bit more vigilant, because we're so beat down on these jobs. We're so beat down by the economy. We're beat down by all these prices going up. Just like they inflate the prices of things, they can deflate it. They can lower the prices. It's not set in stone. We could change it.
It's not set in stone. And then you just see how right now they got a story out about the airport. They're upset about the airport and the way that in their practices, right, of selling seats. So you could be sitting next to a person who paid $5 for a seat, and then the other side of you paid $100 for that same seat in that same row.
And then you got the people that's gonna bring their family and ask you for the seat that you just paid for so they can sit together. You crazy. How about you run me that $50 for this window seat that I just paid for, so you can sit next to a daughter that you
listen, I've given up my seat several times so a family can sit together. No. But when people are like, no, I get it, because they paid for that seat. Yeah, you can't just sit and be like, hey, I want my child to sit there.
And paid $50, and you paid $350 plus the extra $50 to sit on the window.
At the window. Yeah, but see, listen, they got into a whole bunch of trouble not too long ago behind that. And they want answers, and they want answers immediately.
Well, they should have got people off the plane for who somebody complained. Everybody complains. What are they complaining about?
Wait, let me tell you. Let me finish. And then they went on to sit and say, right, that now they're demanding also too. And they wanted to know, they want answers about that, and they want answers about this dress code now that the airlines are getting ready to also implement. Yeah. So they're saying no more see-through clothes, no more breast showing out, no more
bonnets.
No more. People in their bonnets alone. People in their bonnets.
Everybody wear bonnets
now. No more short outfits to where your butt is hanging out. You have to have. You have to be
that before.
They want you to be completely clothed now. On the airplanes now. So they want to know what is. Yeah, people have questions about that. So the government also has questions about that. Yeah, and they want to know what is going on.
You trying to get on with your booty shorts? You paid $50. No, I'm gonna get that $350 that I just sold this ticket to because I oversold these seats. How about that?
Thank you. And I'm gonna wear what I want to wear because you sold me a $350 ticket.
What'd you say, Sakina?
I said they only talking about the stewardess, right? They're not talking about the people to get on.
They're talking about the people.
What the stewardess can wear.
The stewardess ain't naked. The stewardesses are naked. Were you naked stewardesses? No, they talking about the people. They want the people to put some clothes on when they come on the plane and buy them expensive, terrible price tickets. Your ticket is for free. Your ticket costs $300. Your ticket is $10. Your ticket is $40.
If the cheeks is out and they on the seat, I can't. No. Why would I want to sit where your cheeks have been? No, you need to be covered.
That's too bad. Every public chair you sit in, somebody's cheeks have been. That's too bad about that one. You ain't gonna get that one.
I get that part.
They need to be covered.
Yeah, I get that one now.
The cheeks have been all over the place, Rasha. You ain't gonna get away from that.
Over the place, but
Yeah, the cheeks all over the
Right.
place, girl. Them
You
they be
damn
flapping,
right.
clap.
They bottom. Come on.
From plane to plane, from seat to
Ain't no
seat,
telling
seat
where
to
you
seat.
done been.
And they want them to
Mm-hmm.
put some clothes
You
on
and
now.
your
I said, oh
big
my gosh. And Spirit is the first one going to make it a policy that
Well,
you have to be
Spirit gonna make
clothed.
it a
And
policy because of the people that buy them tickets. They act outside of the box.
yeah,
So,
but how do you tell people what to sit here and wear? Granted, I don't want you to be naked.
right.
Granted. Okay, I do want you to have a little bit of clothes on, but for the most part, this goes back to, this merit-based thing, going back to us really, what is that word that we had to get away from, where we just pick out groups of people and say, we don't like y'all because y'all are like
All
this,
they gotta
or
stick to is the
we may not
timeless.
like y'all because y'all are this. Like, we can't cherry pick people.
All they gotta
People
stick to
are
is
people.
timeliness. If they stick to
Yeah,
timeliness, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be late anyway.
Exactly. Or
Just
a
stick
cancel
to
flight. But you
timeliness.
can't cherry pick people. Who
Right.
cherry picks people and say, hey, I want you to sit here and put some clothes on? Well, that's like a Karen. I might as well say, you might as well tell me you don't like my French braids, and you don't want a person sitting next to you with French braids. See, and I don't like I don't like the see, red makes me go. Every time I see the color red, I start spazzing. Right. Listen, all of these are personal problems. Get over it.
Personal problems. Yeah.
They got nothing to do with me going from point A to Z because she got on a tank top and some booty shorts. That's her, not me. I really don't care. I don't mind sitting next to her as long as everything is okay. I don't mind sitting next to crying babies and everything, because I'm going to get off the plane shortly. I got someplace to be. So get me to my destination and stop all this whining and complaining about what people got on. Nobody cares. All the stuff going on. That man who opened up the door 350 feet.
That's something to be worried about.
Right. Thank you.
No, you acting crazy. You got to go.
Fix that.
I'm not saying crazy. You acting uncouth. You got to go.
There you go. I don't understand that. You had a man who sat here, took off all his clothes, and then jumped from seat to seat to seat, and they had to duct tape him so he can sit here and calm himself down. Fix that.
Yes.
That's what you need.
And don't worry about the size of my lotion or my oils or my perfume. How about that?
I mean, you got all these psycho people running wild. That 47 is claiming the immigrants are the mentally ill patients. No, these are all U.S. citizens that are nuts, walking around, running around, sitting on our planes, and you want to come telling me about you need somebody to get on a plane and cover up. Really? That's wild. So yeah, the airlines, but for me though, I'm tying that back into, again, it goes back to this merit-based conversation. We wouldn't even be having a conversation if things were fair from the beginning. Things are not fair. That's what some of these programs did. Alleviate or make the playing field fair so that you do not have an all-white college. Affirmative action said you had to allow at least 10% Black people in, 10% Mexican people in, 10%
See, that's that racist component.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Learning, they took us from off of our parents' hip, learning a skill, and now, we used to be bricklayers. We used to be carpenters. My grandfather was an excellent carpenter. He was working well past his 70s, privately. But all of those skills have been lost because you didn't put these kids in these schools and they're not trying to teach them nothing.
Exactly. Well, you put the kids in school and kids don't really understand if that's really just like you have socialization for children. And so you send them to preschool. So college is socialization for adults. And so we take that to mean you're going to learn something, but you threw them in a university, which is knowledge-based. If you wanted them to learn a skill set, then you should had a conversation with your child about going to a trade school as opposed to a knowledge-based school. Universities are not a trade school. They certify you so that you can work in a trade. But if you want some hands-on, that's what all those internships and things like that during the summertime that the young people are supposed to be utilizing.
Let me tell you this. My nephew, he graduated, and I believe he got his doctorate and he started teaching, but he actually went to school for, I guess, curation, for like the museum or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he went for the job, but the person that got the job didn't know anything about it, but they got it because of who they were connected to.
Who they knew. Exactly.
Yeah, so we're dealing with stuff like that. You go to school, you get the preparation, you have the proper credentials, you know how to move in that particular area of acumen for that particular position, and you end up not getting position. So that's it. It's still going to exist regardless of what they say.
Who you know, and I'm telling you, we don't know all the right people. A lot of us don't even want to sit here and clean ourselves up to know the right people. I've had
that's what
put on a shirt. Listen, I've had people sit and say, "Well, why I gotta put on a shirt, a proper white shirt, and a tie to sit here and meet somebody who da. They don't believe in that instance of that instance where in that one moment that one person can change your life.
Right.
They don't believe in that. And they also, we're in a time where people do not believe so much in authority, but they believed in 47. I don't understand this. How do you go to work, disrespect your upper management, disrespect your boss, and then turn around and say, hey, but I'm not going to disrespect 47. So even though he let those January 6 people out and they sat here and attacked authority, we're going to send a clear message that that's okay. Because I'm going to pardon all 1,500 of them, and nobody's going to stand to have accountability for any of those things. And it's like, no, the things he says makes no sense. He's always contradicting himself, saying one thing, but yet his actions say a completely different type of thing. I don't understand that. So there's a lot of his decisions that are going to be costly, and especially if we take his word face value, and that's something that's very dangerous and we should not do as a people. He's not coming to help anybody. He's only helping himself, and if stepping on you can help him some more, that's what he's going to do.
Right. So I have a problem,
and that's why I said even about those
getting out. With the fact that they were able to go in, terrorize the White House.
Right.
But
the people in it.
4 to 5 years prior, was it 4 to 5 years prior? Black lady came and rammed her car into a gate, and they hunted that woman down and shot her execution style in her car.
Yes.
For hitting a gate. So I got a problem with that. Same way I have a problem with how all of these medicinal shops are popping up and they're able to sell CBD and all this stuff. But this country has broken so many families behind the sale of this particular item. But now all these people are coming in, they're business owners, and they can show you the models in the floor. They can give you examples of different things of the products. And no, that it's not right. There's something that's wrong with that.
Yeah, and we did have that conversation. You were putting people in jail for a nickel bag.
Right.
And now you're letting all the stores pop up and sell it for free. But it's taxation on that, right? Uh-huh. Yeah, the taxes on that is bananas.
But
and people are willing to sit here and pay that just to be able to have those stores. But again, I always just say it's a distraction, just like the liquor stores. You see too many in the churches, you see too many pop up at the corner. Houston, you better be watching the community. Something is just not right. Yeah, you don't go to what they feel like is a normal community and see those type of things everywhere. That's not normal. We normalize it because we don't have a choice, because they don't put it up there. You went to sleep and then you woke up and it was at the corner. You didn't have no choice in that. You didn't have you didn't have a vote on that, right? It just was there. So we normalize things because we don't know how to get certain businesses out of our neighborhood and out of our view. So we take it and we internalize it and we normalize it because, hey, it's not our store. We ain't making no money from it. And so, but it is very harmful to young people and what they're trying to accomplish. Grown adults, hey, that's you. You want to sit here, and I know some people that would argue 18, you're a grown adult, which I don't agree with that at all. But I do know some
you can't
people
even
who
buy
feel that
alcohol
way.
at 18, and you can't even no.
Yeah, and you can go into these stores and buy all the CBD. You know how many young people I've had that sat and said, including one of my daughters, that, hey, I just had a mushroom, and that mushroom helped me find my way. Where do you get this mushroom from? One of those stores. Young boy told me that the other day. Well, I had one of these mushrooms, and these mushrooms helped me get back on the path. What path, son? I'm trying to understand. Make me understand what path did you get
gotta
off?
get a permit, or the community gotta vote this shit in here.
The community better start laying some stuff down the law, because they have, James, like he said, they have almost as many dispensaries as the liquor stores, if not more, in certain communities.
If not more. And they're making money.
I mean, come on. 1 or 2 or 3, okay. 4 or 5, but we're talking about 20. I can count, I know where at least 10 of them is. When you type in, put in my zip code, and you type in dispensaries, oh my God, 20, 30 of them gonna just pop up. And they're everywhere. That don't make no sense. And we do need to learn more about how to get these things out of our communities. But I don't think right now it's just something we know how to do. We don't even know where to start.
It's legal in the state. And then, from that point.
Because I tell you what, if you go to a more affluent,
if you get caught with more than certain amounts or something like that, which is questionable, it's legal. No, you can still go to jail.
Well, some states now,
in California, yes.
I just saw this, just recently. Some states have even dropped down the grams. You have to have a lot of Some of them are I was just talking to someone who showed me a video of a weed state. So you're not going to jail for any amount of weed. That weed is totally legal up and through that particular state. You see what I'm saying? So it is state to state. But I'm saying this: if you were to go to a more affluent neighborhood, you would not see. And if they didn't want your business, oh no, they would sit here and make sure that you go. So I don't understand why we can't do that too. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out, like, why can't we get these get certain businesses out of our communities that is just too much of.
Some of our more populated communities with our particular group are so oversaturated with illegal substances that the people, it looks like you're looking at a movie, because it's especially out in Oakland. These businesses are moving out, they're shutting down, and it's starting to look like a ghost town out there, especially downtown Oakland. And so it's a lot that needs to be done, but a lot of these drugs are created in labs. So how do they get to the community? We need to change our mindset. So if cocaine is sold by the sacks in the grocery store, we'll leave it alone. We won't touch it, because our mind has been changed. We know that it's bad for us. We know that it's not for us. And we know that it's not going to help our community, our people, our family, our posterity. We got to change our mindset.
Yeah, our posterity. You know what? I'm going to make that a definition for next week. Posterity. That is, that's a good word. That's a darn good word.
We gotta start asking ourselves, where's the stuff going? Where's this stuff coming from? And where are the funds or the monies going to? Because just like I want to say about 10, 15 years ago, when the Border Patrol agent shot this known trafficker in the back, and they got put in jail. That's a problem.
It's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem all the way around. There's just some stuff going on that is just, oh my gosh.
So,
and then, you know, when people, here's another thing that we sat here and talked about. Now, everybody was up in arms about Kamala sitting in her 3 strikes, yet and still 47 just sat and said, I am declaring war on the cartel. So, and anybody who's involved with the cartel.
Yep.
So here it is here.
Insects, they gonna get them.
Mad about the number one reason people were up in arms, these black men, I'm gonna call them out specifically, were upset about Kamala. She implemented the 3 strikes law. She put out the 3 strikes law. Okay, but now, now you're okay with the man who is sitting here saying he's declaring war on y'all beloved cartel. Are y'all okay with that?
But that was running.
So that's okay. That's allowed, right? That's allowed. So I want to hear the men come and defend that point. I want to hear the men defend 47 saying he is declaring war on the cartel. I wonder why. Could it be the same reason why Kamala declared war on the drive-by shooters and created the 3 strikes law? What we talking about?
Could it be the same reason I played Batman? R. Kelly?
You play Batman because you bad and you wanted to sit here and identify with being bad today. So you are bad today, Sakina.
Well, you can't be bad by yourself. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Rasha, because you was sitting here, had a fake microphone too. So let me call you out too.
I don't care what y'all say. I still like him. I don't like what he did.
Could it be because it specified the reason?
Rasha likes freaks. Let me put that disclaimer out there. How about that? You wouldn't believe
Could it be because just what he said was going with Shaft, that movie? He said, I really don't get it.
RTG said black men love the cartel. Question mark. That's a good one. It's the truth. Because hold on. Wait a minute, Rasha. Let me address this. Let me address RTG. So listen. He said black men love the cartel. That's a good one. Gemini has gone fishing. So wait a minute. So you don't see no correlation between everybody dogging Kamala about a 3 strikes that put bad people in jail and gave them 3 strikes. And you don't see the correlation to when he said, we are declaring war on the cartel, RTG. Is that what we're saying? You hit the link and come and explain that, because that's the same thing, brother. So if you didn't like when Kamala put people in jail, bad people in jail, but you like that Trump is saying, I'm going to put the cartel in jail. So it depends on who said it, right? The Hoosiers, ain't that what Sakina call them? It depends on the Hoosiers who said.
We are at war. So
now Kamala would have said, hold on, Rasha. Wait a minute, because Rasha, you want to jump in. But hold on. So the Hoosiers, so if Kamala would have said, I'm declaring war on the cartel,
they'd been behind it.
Then what? What we talking about? She did not say, hold on. Let me explain that. She put tampons in men's bathrooms. No, that was not for that. She put tampons in the men's bathroom because they're women who identify themselves as a man, but they have not had the surgery. So these women will still go to the men's bathrooms. It was not a tampon for a man. Let's be clear, RTG.
Remember the man that identified as a woman and they sent him to the female prison? And he started knocking them.
He got him all pregnant.
Hold on, Ross. She had a field day.
Got him pregnant.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Oh, yes. In Ohio.
You take it from my argument from my favorite person who like to sit here and fuss with me, RTG. Okay, roundtable game. So yeah, now you fishing. That was not why she put tampons in there. But again, I'm gonna ask this question.
I
so
did try
Kamala
that.
would have said,
Let me tell you,
I'm declaring war on the cartel, then y'all wouldn't have had no problems with that. Right? Just like y'all don't have a problem with 47 sitting here saying that. But when Kamala said, hey, you know what? We have these gang members and we have people who are out here clowning and acting a fool. We let them go to jail. The jails are overcrowded, right? So we give them a strike. And then we sit here, and if they do it again, we'll give them another chance. And they get 3 strikes. Oh, y'all had a fit because a woman said that. But now you have a man who is declaring war completely on all of it. The gangs, the cartel, which all of that is clearly connected. And y'all don't have a problem with that. But Kamala was such the bad guy. Remember? 3 strikes.
It was gonna happen with.
So where's the outrage for 47 saying he's declaring war on the cartel and putting them behind bars? Where's the outrage for that? Where is it? Where is it?
Free El Chapo.
He's talking about free El Chapo.
Give him free. Give him free. But look, I went to the store.
I'm just trying to understand. No, because see, we will make things gender-based too, and we should not do that.
The restroom, and the guy was like, "Oh, you going to the middle?" I said, "Well, what if I identify?" You know, I didn't go in, but I was just being funny. I was just being funny.
Well, clearly there's going to be no more tampons in the bathroom because he said, right? There's only 2 genders, male and female.
2 sex, yeah.
So y'all can stop having y'all underwears in a bunch because there's gonna be no more tampons in the men's bathroom. So you're free and clear of that. No, I'm just sitting here saying, right? Make it make sense. Y'all got to stop with this gender stuff. A whole woman gave birth to every last single person on this planet, but yet and still, when she is trying to hold down the law, when she's laying down the law, you got a problem with laws. No, I got a problem with giving birth to y'all. Some of y'all mean, raggedy people. What in the world? You got the nerves to have life, the gift of life, and then you turn around and look at your mother and despise her by the things that you say about other women. Get over yourselves already. This is why people are choosing to sit here and stay single and not procreate. Because if you're going to sit here and disrespect the person who gave birth to you and then turn around and spit in my face and say, I am the man, you are nobody, mother, dear mother. I have a problem with that. I take issue with that.
Toxic masculinity, toxic femininity. We need to come back together and do what we need to do and survive as a people.
RTG, shut up. Talking about some. Talk about he did more for. Yeah, he did. Because people like you don't seem to think that me and Rasha need a job. Right? So this is what he did in 8 weeks. Something that Biden did not do was come and upset 1 million people who are federal, state, and county workers by jeopardizing their jobs so that we can't feed our family, but you can feed yours because all you care about is retarded things. You don't care about the people in the community like you say you do. Because if people cared about the community like they said, they would be inclusive, and then they would sit here and know that people like me, people like Rasha, need our jobs too, so we can feed our family too. It's real simple. And then we not sitting up here being exclusive, inviting half the people who feel the way they feel about my job, about her job. I have the nerves to still be nice to y'all.
I don't want to work for you. I want the black
community. Okay. Ain't that something? But yet you'll sit here and tell me something ridiculous like what 47 did in his first couple of days of office. Yeah, I know what he did because guess what? I happen to work for an office that he cannot stand and that he absolutely is declaring war on right now. So then what happens? You tell me, Mr. Black Man, are you going to sit here and feed me and mine? Okay, that's what I thought. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we got to level up, get ourselves together so we can get this stuff going. And we need to hold ourselves accountable. We really do. Don't get sidetracked or don't sweat the small stuff. And everything is small stuff. We got to let stuff go.
God, I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, talking about she Hindu.
Who Hindu?
Kamala.
Kamala's an Indian, not an
Hindu.
Indian. She's an Indian, not an Indian. She
an Indian, not an Indian. Tell her she Hindu. We know Black women are the most educated demographic in the United States. You need to say less. We understand what it is, but do you Black men who are undereducated? So these days, the most undereducated people demographic in the United States. Do you understand what you even saying when you make that statement? You can't sit here and disrespect other women, other mothers, and then turn around and make some sense of it. You can't cherry pick who you want to respect. That's ridiculous. Respect is equal across the board for everybody. None of y'all don't know Kamala. You never met the woman, but the disrespect is was so egregious for a person you ain't never met and ain't never gonna meet. It's ridiculous. You're never gonna meet her. But if you can disrespect her and she's a mom, again, that's a slap in the face for all other mothers too. Because we need our children to be safe. And some of our children could not be safe in the conditions that was going on at the time that she implemented the 3 strikes. If my boys would have lived where we moved from in LA, they would be gang banging right now, getting ready to get arrested as being part of the cartel, because that's really what 47 is going to do. He's going to lump all people and say, y'all all part of the cartel. You need to be arrested and we need to declare war on you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying all the bad people who were targeting and trying to kill the people that they did not kill, but killed mothers, killed kids, killed babies, trying to sit here and go chase after the so-called bad person who didn't get shot. I'm saying you should be outraged by that. You should be outraged every time you hear a story where bullets flying, came through a house or a door or a window and hit some person, hit some child laying there. You should be outraged by gang violence and gun violence in the community. What is going on here? Did you call ISO in here? Your numbers today, the neighbors today, Jumper pay you $1,000. Yeah. Did you know also too, he has a hotline. He also has a hotline and want people to call in on their co-workers and on their jobs for talking about diversity, inclusion, and equity. Did you know that too? So he's hotlining people who want to be inclusive and diverse, and he's paying $1,000 so you sit here and report your immigrant neighbor. That's a travesty. Y'all all should be outraged by all that ridiculousness.
Some people gonna be calling. They want that $1,000.
$1,000 that guess what ain't gonna last, because in the neighborhood we used to have this saying, fast money go fast. So you tell all your neighbors and get a quick $1,000. That $1,000 be the worst $1,000 you
because there's people that make
money
doing that. They watch their neighbors, especially when they paying people that are claiming disabilities or injuries on the job. They pay neighbors to watch you and take pictures and everything.
Yes,
so
yes,
it's not
do,
new.
But you know what? But it don't no good don't come to nobody like that. I wouldn't even want that money. Really I wouldn't even want that money. If you was real about your neighbors and real about immigration, you wouldn't take that $1,000. Trust me, that $1,000 is going to destroy you. That little bit of money, that's called bad money. That's the money that you don't pick up. You keep that $1,000 right there. And if you were serious about your neighbor being an immigrant and he's such a threat to you, then you would call and wouldn't take the $1,000. You know, but we shouldn't even be in a situation, in a predicament where our mentality is tell on the next person in order to sit here and get ahead, or tell on the next person so I can sit and watch their demise. Watch another person's demise for what? That is a part of what has been happening to us in the communities. Watching people demise, watching people mistreat grandmothers, watching people mistreat children, watching people mistreat all kinds of people who don't deserve it, people with disabilities, and you don't make that call. Nobody's called to sit and say, hey, she done left out and ain't nobody watched her kids for 3 days. Ain't nobody been in the house for 3 days with them children we know is sitting there. We ain't knocked on the door to check on those children, and we sure didn't call to sit here and tell a social service that some children was in a house by themselves. Why? Because there wasn't $1,000 attached to it. What we talking about?
Well, do you know they also said, well, I heard that a bill was signed that now all of the taxes or child support orders taxes was going to the father now. So now all of
I heard something like that.
Since the father paid.
Now I know some people would share, but now it's going to the oh wow, that's interesting.
Yes. Now since the father paid child support, he's now getting the taxes because remember how
the mother pay child support.
Well, she will now get the taxes.
That makes sense though, because that makes sense by our definitions and rules. That makes sense that the father, but the father Ben could hold on, but they got that kind of backwards because the father could always claim his child for taxes. That has never been the problem. The problem with these fathers is the problem. One of the things is some of the shut up, Round Table. He gonna put the 800 number on it.
Oh wow! All right, Round Table. Got he
deal with you today.
Yeah,
he got his seat.
I can't stand him. He's at $1,000 to feed starving children. Shut up! They've been keeping kids starving for the longest. Ever since you've been born and I've been born too, kids been starving. Right?
Go ahead, Sakina.
Well, I'm saying a lot of mothers would always keep that money.
Right. Let me finish. So listen. One of the problems was they could make the argument that when the mothers, okay, let me slow it down. So when you are claiming your children for earned income credit, child tax credit, right? There was a time when, and it still is a time, when mothers were saying, how can he claim the child when he ain't even been in the child's life? Well, because guess what? It's not our job to factor in whether or not he was paying child support to you all of these years. It's not our job to factor in none of that. All our job is to do is to sit here and factor in to see with who was this child living with for 6 months or more within the tax year. And that's it, and that's all. Well, now, if you factor in, well, listen, because I hear a lot of fathers say that, hey, listen, I've been paying child support and I do not get a chance to sit here and see the child. They just leveled the playing field by a father now having a comeback or having something to fight with, saying, hey, I've been paying child support, right? Because by definition, in our words, it says the support of the child. We have support. Probably in one paragraph, we probably got that word support 10 times in one paragraph. So support is support. So if the father is not there, yet he has been paying for that child for the majority of the year, he should be allowed to also claim that child, which people gonna have to work that out because that's not IRS thing. That's a court thing. You have to go to court and let them decide whether or not you paying support can afford you to claim this child on these taxes. And then we pick up the ball from there. Other than that, we don't have no dog in that fight, but it does make sense because one of the things that we do, we ask you, who has supported the child for the majority of this tax year? And now these mothers can't just say, yeah, because the father can show proof and verification that he also supports this child for half of the tax year.
If that's the case.
That's right. And so it is what it is. And I don't know what people are going to sit here and do with that. But I'm glad they brought that out right there because that's a real thing. It is the issue. We have people that called in about that kind of stuff all the time. The fathers have not been able to do very much because, there were no laws or anything like that in place to support, but a child being out of the house yet supporting. So when we say support, when our our language has always been support, meaning physical, that a physical child is with you. So this language allows for support to be broadened and say, hey, nope, this is support without a child being in the house. And then there's also support with a child being in the house. And so I'm glad they broadened that.
Peace, RTG. The one I'm getting into next week is kind of covering that and what we was talking about just a minute ago with Rasha, with some of the stuff that Trump was talking about. It goes into not CERN, but kind of in CERN, but it's discussing some of Australia. So it gets into some of that and the World Health Organization. So it goes into science. So we're going to get into some of that. So it kind of answers your question as far as celestial bodies and space. And it kind of stays on the ground at the same time. So yeah, we're going to do that next weekend. And we're gonna have to get into this Pangea because that's where it's gonna get into. So when you get it, definitely need you to come up on a panel because that's gonna lead into where we're gonna fall into because that's where it's heading. Yep. So if you would like, I need you to hit that email at smokingconversations24. Right, because definitely that's where this is going. Yeah. You already know why I'm talking like this, so don't ask. So anyway, but yeah, that's where this is heading. So that prolonging on Pangea can't wait no more because that's where it's going. Yeah, that time to shine is right now. And you are the great anthropologist. We're going to call you right now.
RTG, I heard him. You know what? I'm going to see. I'm going to go on his show and fuss with him.
Hit me and I'll hit you back.
When he go. You hear me?
Yes. Okay, ladies, I'm gonna have to jump off.
Okay.
It was fun talking with you. I enjoyed myself, and
yeah, it's been 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Yes.
Yes.
But again, we need to level up. It's time.
Yeah. Again, and I think I am. I'm gonna bring that dictionary definition of posterity next week.
Okay.
Yeah, because I like that word.
Yes, you know? I also have a bracelet. One of my empowerment, embrace, and meditation bracelets to say I have the 3 P's on this one. It's 3 P's, and then it say be unto you, which was the peace, prosperity, and positivity, and be unto you. Those 3 P's, you know, they always keep them and be unto you, you know.
Yes, peace be unto you.
Yes. Peace be unto you.
Peace be God rest on you.
Yes.
Those P's, right.
Wasn't there a debate with Apostle and Sinetta today? What happened to that? That is today. Sakina, what time you said? Because you said Sinetta was coming on. What time was he coming on?
I'm not sure, but I know if anything, it should be on sometime right now or coming on about 5 or somewhere like that.
Let me see.
Yeah, so I know. I think I hit notify me. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if you got the notification, but we don't get notifications. Like I don't get notifications.
Yeah, sometime I get them too. I hope it's gonna notify me.
Yeah, hopefully it's gonna notify because I didn't get. Yeah, I haven't been getting any notifications. Oh, it's going down tonight. James said.
Oh, okay, good.
So tonight. Yeah, come sometime probably within the next hour. Yeah, and I'll make sure I get you the link, Rasha.
Yeah.
And so yes, this was a great. So it's going down tonight on Encinitas. We will be there for sure. And we will sit here and be listening. Hopefully, Apostle, that's because when sometimes he sound really clear and sometimes he don't. Does he smoke?
No,
I don't think he smokes anymore, right?
I never knew he smoked, so that if he did, he quit.
Well, back when he used to be a bad man, I'm pretty sure he's cigars or something. When I don't know what because sometimes when he fusses, it's crystal clear, and sometimes when he fusses, it's not. So I don't really know.
Listen, my inspiration said he like when I'm bad, so I'm good with that.
I'm not sure what Apostle, yeah, but it'll be good to sit here and see everybody tonight, anyways, and sit and get our clown on for show.
Yes.
Yeah, he does just take long going at it. Yeah. Yeah, he takes a long time getting to the point. Apostle does, and then his voice gets really scratchy, and then you really don't know what he's saying. And I'll be like, what did he just say? And some people can understand him, and some people can't. And sometimes I'll be in a chat like, what did he say? And then I have to listen. I literally have to read the chat in order to understand what Apostle just said.
Just said, Phantom and the gator. I said,
Yeah, he needs some tea after the debate. Yes, exactly. Yeah, because that's what we keep saying. Yeah, hopefully Apostle Wife has some tea ready for him. I hope he do too. Throat lozenges or cough drops or something. It has to be. He don't have to have something. Yeah, because we don't be knowing what Apostle be saying by the time he start, really going in real tough. Like what? What do you say? He is entertaining. Apostle be cracking me up. He the turn up for real though. That's why I said it's gonna be good tonight just to watch him spaz out. He gonna crash out for sure because he can't hold it when Sonetta be taking him there. He can't hold it. He just be like, well, Side just gotta tell you. Side just gotta tell you.
Come on.
Hey, Mom.
Hey.
You right?
Yeah. So okay.
Thank
all right, I got family sitting here calling. Let me tell them I'm not going nowhere today.
Okay, hey, how are you? All right, well,
you want to see it?
Yeah. Let me close out right fast.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
All right.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
All right, let me show y'all my birthday shirt. Yay! Why you turning the light on so bright?
Girl,
that's what I'm like, whose birthday is it?
It's nobody's birthday, but this is my birthday shirt I ordered. It says...
Oh, you ordered it.
Yeah, it's my birthday dress shirt. I gotta have a shirt dress. Yes, I'm finna be
Let's see, pull it up. There we go.
Chapter 59.
Chapter 59. Oh, that is cute.
Yes.
18th
of May.
Yes. It's gonna be a dress.
That's cute. Why you do it purple?
Yes.
Because that's the
Late
color they
66.
1966.
It's in May, James.
Green though.
No, it say 1966. Yeah.
That's pretty. You got some shoes to wear with it?
No, yeah, I gotta get them. I gotta get me some sandals.
Okay, period.
Yes. I gotta give me some sandals.
Yeah.
Right. I got a bunch of black sandals right now I ain't never wore.
You really do.
But that don't mean I need some new ones.
Girl, I mean,
Right. That don't mean I don't need some new ones. Right. So right. So that's the intentions. Right? So yeah. So yay. Because I don't intend on going nowhere this birthday. This birthday I plan on having me an apartment and grabbing my stuff. And moving it here. I'm tired. I'm tired of talking about what I keep talking about, my storage. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of paying. Yeah, I'm tired of all that. This time I plan on getting it by my birthday and bringing it here instead of trying to be going, kicking it and all this other dumb shit. Right. I need to go get it. And don't give me an apartment and don't buy nothing for it. Go get my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And this time don't give your apartment away. Stay in it. And you know
you know
give my away. I'm not doing none of that this round, y'all. I'm right. Yeah. But, the Better Homes and Gardens, all this wonderfulness. And don't even worry about going somewhere because it's snowing down there too. So stay where you're at.
Oh man.
Yeah, so right. It's time, y'all. So yeah. Yes, my inspiration. My birthday is May 18th. And it's in 1966. Right. So, yeah, that's why celebration in 1966. I just asked them to put my day on there, Celebrate. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Only a couple of more months of the big freeze. Listen here. I was getting into all of the floods and how many earthquakes we've had and how many Malcolm X's birthday is a day after mine. His birthday May 19th.
Reincarnated Malcolm X.
I gotta think what I was gonna say. I hate when I do that. Sometimes it's meant to be. Because I ain't no telling what I was trying to say. Jim and I at work right now, so we might as well roll on with it. I could sing right now without no problems. Why you saying that? I know you're not gonna sing that song. We eased it right on.
It's a shame, boy.
So I'm trying to tell you, look here.
Jim and I getting a jacket. You put that jacket on me.
Listen here. Sometimes you just gotta hold it in and just go, listen. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes you never had a little sister, so you gotta go, whoo. That's how they come. Listen here. Don't get mad because you played all 3 tracks. I played all 4. I'm gonna let you know
I
that.
know. Techno music.
And then you go, you played 4.
Right. Exactly. That's I was a girl. Outrageous.
Then they
the outrageousness of the outrageous.
Then they gotta go here. Egregiousness.
It was. And don't forget the ridiculousness, the egregiousness and the ridiculousness.
Right, you know, they spread it on like butter parquet. You know, they're gonna let you know. They spreads it on. You hear me? It's a difference. Okay. We say grammarification. No. I don't give a damn what it was. This is not that. Listen here. I don't give a damn the word. Listen here. We're not gonna play word games. What you say? Word salad. Take all that shit off my plate. Because what you're not gonna do is mix it up. Here, the bouginess. It's on right now. It's on right now. It's on right now. The battle of bougie.
That is ridiculous. I can't even believe you said nothing like that. Really? Really?
The battle of the bougies is on.
That is so ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
Here. The forks and the spoons going.
I'm getting off of here too for you make us miss Apostle.
Okay, we
miss Apostle. Yeah, hopefully your notification work. Hopefully your notification work.
Listen here, it was one of the shows.
Yeah, because I don't want to be sitting here micromanaging, stalking, starting at a show just to see when they're gonna come on because his notifications don't work.
All right, let me drop down too. So, it still says 3 people here, so I don't know what's going on, but and I got to change all my stuff.
Well, that's because we haven't ended the stream yet.
Oh,
and there's 3 people in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, Shem and Hotep, everybody. Thank y'all for joining. We will see y'all soon. RTG, don't forget. Hit me up on the email if you. Otherwise, I'll see you this weekend coming up. Right, because we got to get together on that. So I'll see everybody soon. Thank y'all for joining.
All right. Have a good one, everyone. Until next week.
Till next week.